Hey, what's up guys, it's your probably not, maybe your favorite YouTuber here, I don't know, but this video is kind of off topic of what I normally do on this channel. But, yesterday, hang on, what's the date? Hold on. The date is Thursday, July 7th, so yesterday, Wednesday, July 6th, my grandma suggested us going to a movie theater just to watch Finding Dory, and I decided, yeah, sure, it'd bring back nice memories. Surprisingly, in the movie theater, there were no kids in it. It was like 90% teenagers in there, so I don't know, but anyway. I also couldn't really remember much from Finding Nemo. It's been years since I've seen that movie. Like, pretty much the only things I could remember was Nemo had a tiny little fin, and Dory had a mental problem. That was kind of ironic though, because Nemo having a tiny fin was actually never mentioned in the entire movie, whereas Dory having a mental problem, like, you get reminded of it every, like, 3 seconds. Like, honestly, good luck watching that movie and being able to go 3 seconds without being reminded that Dory has a mental problem. Just a reminder, this review has spoilers in it. When we first start the movie, Dory is a tiny little fish. It's a very cute little fish, and I would have been shocked by it if it wasn't for the fact that I've seen the trailer and I saw her parents, so I figured, yeah, we're probably gonna see her as a little kid. Dory had mental problems even back then, and, you know, and it's funny how, like, at first we think that she's free in the ocean, and then in the middle of the thing we find out that she's, like, in an aquarium sort of thing. Dory's parents, they were nice to her and all that. I think that that's, like, because she was an only child. If she had siblings, then they would fight, and then the parents would probably yell at them a little bit more. It's just like, kids who are only childs really want to have brothers and sisters, and kids who have brothers and sisters really wish that they were an only child. I admit I was an only child, and I really did want to have a brother and sister when I was a kid. But now I actually realize that I am kind of lucky to have not had a brother or sister. Well, technically I do. Now I have stepbrothers and sisters, but that's besides the point. Like, basically, like, when you're an only child, and that means that all of the attention from the parents are focused on you. And they're just amazing. I found it kind of weird how the mother and father really never did yell at Dory the entire time. I mean, that does make a little bit of sense, especially when they were reunited at the end of the movie, because they were probably, like, so glad that they finally found Dory, they didn't want to make her sad and leave again. I find it kind of sad how Dory lost her parents simply because she was just trying to make her mom happy. That was literally it. She was just trying to make her mom happy. She saw that she was crying. In case if you didn't pick that up in the film, the parents were crying because Dory had the mental problem, so they were just like, oh no, how is she gonna handle real life situations when she forgets things all the time? You know, it's the classic, like, parents who have a child with a disability are always stressed out by how their child is going to turn out. And she gets carried away by whatever it was. I can't remember actually, but she went through the pipes or something. It was kind of cool because with Dave, was it? I can't remember. What was the name of the octopus? Or septopus. When Dory was talking to the septopus, it was interesting because I honestly, like, for a second, I was thinking, like, oh, are they just gonna, like, end up happily ever after? Like, not, like, fall in love sort of thing, just, like, you know, like, they're gonna arrive at a place that they want to be. But then, like, they all of a sudden cut to Nemo and Marlin in the bucket, and I'm like, oh yeah, we have to solve the problem with them first, and stuff like that. Oh my god, that reminds me. You remember Becky, the weird bird, and the otter, I think, or seal? Yeah, it was a seal, was telling Marlin to just look Becky in the eye, and then Becky just flat out stared into Marlin's soul. Like, honestly, like, I was just trying to imagine myself in Marlin's place, like, just having that bird just staring at me flat out. I would have been, like, I'm surprised by how brave Marlin was. Another part that gave me the chills was when Dory fell into that bucket full of dead fish. I honestly did not realize that they were dead fish. When they just turned around and I saw those eyes, it just made me think at the beginning of the movie with that squid thing. With one Dory was saying, like, one eye, weird snappy thing, stuff like that. So I honestly thought that they were just a whole bunch of squids, and, like, that music was just all, like, sort of huge because they were squids, and they might do something bad. But then I didn't realize that they were dead fish until like the exact moment when Dory was being spilled out of the bucket, and then it was just like chills all over the place. It's kind of like those horror stories where like nothing bad happens. The only scary thing that happens is like it seems like everything's fine, and then all of a sudden at the very end, like kind of like I heard this one story where a woman was sitting on her couch and then she looked out the window and saw an image of a man like holding a knife or something, and then she screamed and called the cops, and then the man ran away. But when the cops searched the house, they realized that there was wet footprints behind the couch, and the man wasn't actually standing outside, he was actually standing right behind the woman, and she was seeing the reflection in the window. So like pretty much the only spooky thing that really happens is that she realized that she was in danger. But like nothing, like those scary stories don't really scare me because nothing actually scary happened. It's just like something could have happened. Speaking of could have happened, it's like the problem that I always have with movies is that I always think what would have happened in the parallel dimensions where something different happened, because like we're always looking at like pretty much, like if it's a kid's movie especially, we're pretty much looking at the happiest parallel universe. But like then I'm thinking like what about all the other parallel universes where something different happened? Because like it was like Dory couldn't remember anything and then she found her parents. But like I was like thinking like so what would happen if the parents weren't alive? What would have happened in the movie then? Because I got this thing like a lot of movies and TV shows, especially like Phineas and Ferb, it all comes down to luck at the end. Especially Phineas and Ferb. It's like it all comes down to luck that and chance that Phineas and Ferb's inventions get carried away before the mom sees it. So if you haven't seen Phineas and Ferb, I highly recommend watching it. It's a great show. But like it all comes down to chance, and then you're always wondering like what happens in the parallel universe where that thing didn't happen. Speaking of Dory not remembering anything, like it was like saying like if you have Dory's disability, just take what you can remember and work from there. But I was thinking like, what happens if you literally cannot remember anything? What happens then? I'm sure that we can all admit that we did, like, at least, like, chuckle when the truck was coming out of the forest and just diving into the ocean, and then all of a sudden, like, time just slows down, and then we have that music playing in the background. I find it kind of weird, though, how, like, everyone just falls into the sea, and then we cut to the school, and I was like, so what happened to all those animals that went into the sea? But I guess we're supposed to just think, like, they went away. As soon as the credits started rolling and we were just having that word screamed into our ears because the movie theater speakers were so loud, like forgettable, unforgettable, 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 me and my grandma just left, because I looked it up on Wikipedia and apparently there was a post-credit scene where the guys from the last movie, I think, who are in plastic bags, remember the end of Finding Nemo where they were just like, now what? Well, apparently they somehow make their way to California and then they're captured by those guys. I don't know, maybe there was a throwback to Finding Nemo. I need to watch that movie again simply so that I can watch that post-credit scene. But, yeah, what would I rate it out of 10? I'm not sure. The thing about sequels is that you always imagine, like, the sequels should be the best thing possible, but it's pretty much impossible for something to be the best thing possible. I don't know, anything's possible, but anyway, like, like, there are very few movies where you're gonna be satisfied with how the sequel turns out. Most movies, you're just gonna be sitting there, and at the end of the movie, you're always gonna be thinking that could have been better. But like because like you can always get a little bit better. But I would give it maybe an 7.56 out of 10. I don't know. I was about to just give like a really specific number, but then I realized like yeah, 7.5. Let's just go with that. Would I recommend it to you? Yes, but I would probably, I don't know, I mean, I'm not sure if you should watch Finding Nemo first or not. I mean, like, I went just fine without watching Finding Nemo, but anyway, so, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like so that I know that you enjoyed it, and if you didn't like it, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. At least leave a comment down below if there's something that I could improve for next time I'm reviewing a random movie like this, or if you thought it was great, then leave a comment like that, because, you know, it always makes a YouTuber happy when they get, like, a nice little positive comment and stuff like that, so that they know that they're being watched and appreciated and stuff like that. And then, of course, they get a stream of comments in the comment section saying, "Boo, you suck, quit YouTube, blah blah blah." But anyway, subscribe to my channel if you want to know when my next video comes out. I don't know, maybe this might turn out a series where I'm just randomly reviewing random movies. But, yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!